Okay, game number 6 in San Francisco, California, between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. It is the only game today in the NBA for May 2nd here on Friday. Same thing can be said about tomorrow, only one game on Saturday. It's in Denver between the Nuggets and Clippers. That's a game 7. If the Rockets win today, they will force a game 7 on Sunday. It will be one of 2 games on Sunday. The Pacers and Cavs play, and I'm looking at that line right now, and I see Cavs minus 7.5. Oh, we're getting rich off this series, guys. I'm not joking. Pacers in 7. Maybe less. Oh, we're going to make so much money off this. I've been waiting all year long for Pacers Cavs. I'm so pumped. Anyways, free Tyrese Halliburton's dad, by the way. Let him sit in the suite, okay? You can ban him from courtside. Let that guy sit in the suites. Anyways, Warriors versus Rockets today, folks. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our MLB best bets. That's linked in the description down below, so go check out that video. And on Greedo Plays MMA this week, our UFC Fight Night Des Moines predictions. Corey Sandhagen versus Divas Figueiredo in the main event. Go make sure to check that out again at link in the description down below. And go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA while you're at it as well. Okay. Going to the one and only game today in Golden State or in San Francisco, Warriors-Rockets. Give me the Rockets. Yeah, going to the underdog pick today. I think they beat the Warriors. Okay, game 5 was literally everything we kind of thought about Rockets-Warriors going into it, and why initially, and I'm not afraid to say this, why initially I thought the Rockets were going to win the series. Now, I don't know. I still have a theory, and I'll get it out the way right now. I kind of think the Rockets are going to win today and then just lose in game 7. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's going to happen. I kind of feel like this team's just going to blow it. I don't know. That would be very Curry and Rockets coded. That the Rockets come back, they win 2 games in a row, and then they find a way to lose in game 7 in a closeout game at home, and Curry just buries them. I mean, you remember that original tweet we talked about? I don't remember what account it was. But I remember that tweet we talked about, where, oh, you own our franchise, Steph Curry. I kind of feel like that's going to happen in Game 7. Tonight, though, I think the Rockets win. So we can have that conversation about Game 7 on Sunday. I think we're actually going to get there. I don't know. Everything that Game 5 was literally what we thought the Warriors were going to have problems with going into the series. It was, okay, the defensive unit of the Rockets. Curry's going to be in hell all series long. It's going to force Jimmy Butler to step up. But if Jimmy's not able to step up, and if Jimmy is not playoff Jimmy, then everything's going to crumble underneath them. And that's literally what Game 5 was. Steph Curry was in hell the entire game. He had 13 points on 4 of 12 shooting. Jimmy Butler had 8 points on 2 of 10 shooting, and 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. And obviously, Draymond's not going to get the scoring going. Podziemski didn't have his best night. Buddy Hield couldn't sink a 3. And ultimately, Steve Kerr kind of waved the white flag in the 4th quarter. Now his bench unit got his guys back within 12 with about 4.5 minutes to go. Kerr said, I'm just going to let this ride with the bench unit. I'm not going to try to bring back Curry and Jimmy. And ultimately, the Rockets won the game by 15 points. Amen Thompson played a beautiful basketball game. He just did. There's no other way to put it. Amen Thompson was phenomenal. 5 steals, 25 points. That's exactly what that guy can do. He is an athletic freak. He's an all-around great basketball player. He plays the game the right way. He plays both sides. He's great. I cannot speak about how great Amen Thompson's going to be someday. If Amen Thompson can consistently start hitting a 3-point shot, which he doesn't really have right now. I know he went 1 for 1 in game 5, and his mid-range game is getting there. But if Amen Thompson can really just develop his shot, I think he's better than Asar. And yeah, he's going to be a problem for a very long time in this league. But the Rockets played a really good game, right? Fred VanVleet, since game 4, has been really good. He goes 4 for 6 from beyond the 3-point line, 26 points. Again, the game was never really competitive. I always had thought this Rockets-Warriors series was kind of dependent on Jalen Green, the, I guess, so-called leader of this team, you can call him. I think. He's kind of the face of the squad, right? Guy in the regular season averaged 21 points a game, but he is the most inconsistent player in the league. He just is, right? Again, game 2 is the outlier. He scored 38 points in that game. Games 3, 4, and 5, he scored 9, 8, and 11. He can't get it going scoring-wise, and ultimately, he's the third option on the court. He's not, again, number one is Şengün still. I know Şengün only scored 15 points. Ultimately, when the game's on the line, we saw this in game 4, the Houston Rockets will go to Alperen Şengün when they absolutely need a bucket. But then it's Fred VanVleet, then I'm going to argue it's Amen Thompson, and then it's Jalen Green. Maybe even Dylan Brooks is taking the shot over Jalen Green at this point. They're playing their guys off the bench big minutes. They're playing Tyree Eason. They're playing Jabari Smith. Those guys we've seen, again, yesterday we didn't need a closeout spot out the Rockets, at least in game 5, I mean. But we saw in game 4, the closeout guy was Jabari Smith and not Jalen Green. Jalen Green was stuck watching that closing sequence from the bench. I don't know. I think the Rockets are going to win tonight. I think they kind of carry that momentum that they got in game 4, because for the first time in, this entire series, the Rockets are finally playing with some momentum. And you can say, oh, they won game 2. Well, here's the thing. In that initial 2-game stretch, right, the 2 games played in Houston, the Rockets had already let down so many people themselves and the fan base in game 1 because they let Steph Curry walk in there and beat them. And sure, there were some calls, but regardless, Curry hit some big time shots. The Warriors almost gave up the lead in the 4th, but ultimately they pulled away and won the game by 10 points. Okay. That was such a letdown from the Rockets. Even though they won game 2, it still felt like they had no momentum because they're going back on the road to Golden State, and they ultimately drop back-to-back games there. They win game 5. Now they do have momentum because regardless of the fact that they're going back to San Francisco, you're in a must-win spot. So your backs are up against the wall. You have to win, and now you're coming off a win. Now you're playing with some confidence. And also, the way in which they won Game 5. With Curry, Draymond, and Jimmy not seeing the court really in the 4th quarter. With Curry shooting, 25% from the field. With Jimmy Butler shooting 20% from the field. That is a confidence-building game. Moses Moody led the Warriors in points. He was actually great. He scored 25. But again, Steph had 13, and he's the only guy in the starting lineup who scored more than 10 points. Podziemski with 8, Hield with 4, Jimmy with 8, Draymond with 7. That's the biggest momentum-boosting game you can ask for the Rockets. And am I saying they're going to do exactly to the Warriors tonight what they did in Game 5? No. Ultimately, do I feel confident in the Rockets closing out a close game with the Warriors? No, I don't. But we're just going to have to trust them here because eventually they're going to have to be able to, turn it around, I would think, or the season's going to be over. There's going to come a point where the Rockets are going to have to win a close game in the end against the Warriors, and it's going to be tonight. And we're going to see what this team's really made of. I think tonight's the night they actually edge out a close victory. Now, the opposite of ultimately what we talked about yesterday with the Pistons and the Knicks, by the way, not to pat myself on the back here, but that was a spot-on prediction by myself. I'm not going to lie. Close game. Who wasn't able to close out like I exactly called yesterday? The Pistons will not be able to close out the game. It's going to be very close. But ultimately, the Knicks are going to win in clutch time minutes. The Pistons made their run, but in the end, Jalen Brunson made a great move, big pull-up three-pointer, and then Malik Beasley can't corral the basketball for the game-tying shot. Knicks win. They go on to the second round. They are getting swept by the Boston Celtics. Maybe they'll get a game. Maybe they'll get game 3 or a game 4. Celtics in 5 max, though. They're so much better than the Knicks. Watch out for the Indiana Pacers, though. I'm just saying. Pacers versus Thunder finals. We will be there. That'd be the lowest rated, that'd be the least watched NBA finals in NBA history. Maybe no. Nuggets Heat was pretty bad. I don't know. I want to see Thunder Pacers. I really do. Anyways, I think the Rockets again are playing with momentum now, and I think they're going to stop Golden State defensively today. I really think so. I think the defense that they played in Game 5, Amen Thompson was great. Dylan Brooks is always going to bring that defensive presence. Şengün, hopefully he can stay on the court. He fouled out in Game 5, but Şengün scoring-wise has been very off and on in this series, right? Because Draymond Green, for as much as we want to clown the guy, Draymond has played very solid defensively against Alperen Şengün, right? Got the game-winning stop in Game 4. I just think the Rockets are going to go in here and win. I think this game, to me, is reminiscent of that game that they played in the end of the regular season where Amen Thompson completely locked up Curry. He had a similar stat line to what he had in game number 5, and I think the Rockets just build upon that. I think Jimmy's going to have a bad night tonight. I think so, because, again, what really matters is that Jimmy Butler can get going. Because Steph, it is what it is. Either Steph's going to score or he's not. That's fine. It's a matter about, it's about Jimmy Butler. It just is. He's the determining factor. Because even in Steph's worst nights, he'll find ways, right? Steph is going to find ways to hit his floaters, right? He's going to find a way to, find space and hit a mid-range shot. Jimmy, though, if he shoots 2 for 10 again and just can't really score at all, then the Warriors are in trouble. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think the Rockets are going to get this team, and I think Houston is, for the first time, going to close out a close game. I think they're going to be up for most of this game. I think the fourth quarter, they're going to be up by about 8. I think the Warriors are going to make their push, but I think the Rockets are going to barely hold them off. So I'm going Rockets money line here, but don't get me wrong. By far the best play is Rockets plus 5.5. This is going to be a tight basketball game. It's just going to be an elimination game, and the way the Rockets looked in Game 5, yes, this game's going to be extremely close. Yes, the Warriors might have their magnet ball at the Chase Center. I understand they have their voodoo sorcery magic that they pull. I understand. But I'm taking the Houston Rockets today to overcome the Warriors' voodoo magic and to overcome the Stripes. I think the Rockets are going to get it done. Give me Amen Thompson. Give me Alfred Şengün. I'm not Jalen Green. I don't care, dog. Like, score 10 points, would ya? I'm serious. He scored what? He scored 12 points, actually. You've scored more than 12 once all series long, and somehow it's 38. I don't understand. I'm taking the Rockets to win, and we'll see you on Sunday for Game 7. I think they replicate kind of what they did in Game 5 and in that game that they played at the end of the regular season in San Francisco. So give me the Rockets, but again, plus 5.5 is by far the best play you can make for this game. We'll be back tomorrow, folks, for more daily NBA predictions and best bets. Clippers at Nuggets Game 7. I'm looking at this and I see Denver as underdogs. Yeah, we'll get to that. I don't know. I don't know why the Nuggets are being so disrespected here. I'm just going to be honest. I hate that team with a passion, and I think the Thunder easily blow them out in every game. I think the Thunder sweep the Nuggets. I don't know why they're being disrespected. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But folks, if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA predictions. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.